Hello, this is JP Page 2. You might know me by my given name, Jim. Many of you know me from Ben Coombs' channel. Shout out to Ben. I appear on his Lime Hags from time to talk amps. This is my shop. I love to build and fix things. My father was a tool and die maker and a shop teacher. Kind of rubbed off on me, and I've always loved to work with my hands. This shop is a joy to have. I try to keep it organized, but as always, when working on projects, it can end up messy. I cleaned it up a bit to show on this video, but for the most part, I keep it cleaned up. This shop has all the tools I use on a regular basis. They are organized, so the most needed tools are close at hand. There is an old drill press I use a lot, off to the right. It's one that belonged to my grandfather. I have a vise over there and storage for my projects. There are storage drawers too. Below the bench is where I store my power tools. There are also enough outlets close at hand, which you'll find helps a lot. In the drawers, scattered around me, are supplies I use to fix amps. I have other tools and storage around that you don't see in this video. I may show those some days, as they are used in projects that I'm going to be showing. Lately, I found I needed a new amp to take along to small jam sessions. I also wanted a new project to keep me busy. I decided, rather than buy a new amp, I would design my own and build it. It's rewarding to me to do that. People have asked me about this process, especially at the Hangs with Ben. So I decided I'd make a video to show how I do this. Realize I am not an expert like Dave Friedman, Mike Soldano, Lyle at Psionic, and others. I am not a professional. I'm a hobbyist. I know enough to do this, but I make mistakes. I am always learning. Take this project as such. Just a fun learning process that maybe you can do too. The final results can be a great amp, or I can utterly fail. We'll both find out as it progresses. This is a prototype amp you see in this video. It is a proof of concept. It is not a final design. The chassis I am using is just from a failed project that has all the holes already drilled. That makes it useful for mock-up without extra work. Ugly? Yep, but a real time saver. This prototype has no tone controls. I will add those later. I haven't decided what I want to do for tone controls at this time. I left out many refinements and safety features. Those will be added. They must be added. It will be a safe amp, and I will show how it is done. I designed this amp. It is not from some schematic found on the internet. When I am finished, I will draw the schematic and I will show it to you so you can see what I actually did. That will be a much later video. I taught myself how to do this. I have read many books, and I took Bruce Ignator's amp classes. If you want to learn this stuff, I recommend Bruce's classes. You will learn a lot from them, and you will learn how to do it safely. Remember, tube amps use high voltages. You can injure yourself if you don't know what you are doing. You will also need to learn more. Merlin Blencoe wrote several excellent books on this subject if you want to learn, but it also helps to know basic electronics first. I will do a short video later on about my personal library, and I will show you how you can get some of those references and how you can go to the internet to find still other things that you will find useful in building amps. The amp you see here is a prototype. It is meant to show the circuit design works. It is not meant to sound great, though for an early version, it sounds okay. It is meant to verify my design. It allows me to measure voltages. Just because it works in calculations doesn't mean it will work in practice. So I built this prototype version to verify and refine the design. It is just easier to adjust now than when I build the final one. Why did I choose this particular design? I wanted to use parts that I had already had on hand to make the amp. Over the years, I've collected many things. Some were from failed experiments, but are still fine to use, as they are brand new. Some are from projects I never got around to and are still useful. Transformers are the heart of any tube amp. They are also the biggest expense. Using some that I have on hand makes sense economically. So I picked transformers I had and designed around them. The heart of this project is to use on-hand transformers. This is the amp I came up with. The transformers you see on the prototype will be moved over to the final amp. I did buy a couple specific parts to building this amp. I bought a new chassis to build it on. I want it to look nice. Also, since this is a Class A amp, it is susceptible to AC hum. As such, a choke is a good idea in the power supply. I didn't have one, so I bought one. I will have to use great care to eliminate hum elsewhere. I will show more about that as we go along. Next time, I will show how the parts will be laid out on the new chassis. Alright, here's the prototype with a guitar hooked up to it. The main purpose of a prototype is just to show that the circuit works and it works properly. So I'm going to demonstrate exactly what it does. As you can hear, it's amplifying. I can turn it up. I can turn up the preamp or turn down the preamp. There's the preamp side. That's the master volume. Now, you can hear there's some hum in the background. There's probably a lot of reasons for that. One is the fact that the guitar is a single coil P90 guitar. Two, there's bright lights right above it. That's not going to help. And three, this wasn't built with caution in my layout. I didn't twist the heater wires and I didn't pay attention where wires cross perfectly. So, of course, there's going to be hum picked up in the middle of the whole thing. But that's not what we're after here. We're not looking to make the amp sound like a finished amp. We're after making sure that the circuit does what it's designed to do, which is amplify, and that all the voltages, once I go underneath and measure them, that all the voltages are correct. This demonstrates that is indeed the case. So, next, we'll move on and we will actually build this amp, and I'll go through it step by step, showing how I'm going to lay it out, why I'm doing various things, how to make it better and measure all the voltages so that by the time we're done, we'll have a amp built to spec that works and sounds great. Next time, I will show how the parts will be laid out on the new chassis. This will be important in how the amp will sound when we are finished, but we can discuss that more then. Until then, have fun with your amp projects.